welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who's going to record this entire episode while not looking at his computer. It's Sean Alvashire.
How's it going, Mark?
So I taught you that, and now you're doing it. Showing off.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I had, before COVID, I think I had zero technological skills. So yes, everything that we're bringing today is thanks to you, I will admit.
And right now he is looking completely away from the computer. He's looking out the window right now. This is impressive.
I'm staring and I'm not looking at you. I am holding, I have my hand on the wheel and I am staring, looking away. And I will win. I will win. You will break first. I can guarantee that.
Now, all right, let's just get right into this. I love Too Fast, Too Furious. It is my favorite Fast and Furious film. There have been 9 out so far. I love every single one of them. I mean, I turned out that data. I figured out Fast and Furious 6 is the most Fast and Furious of all the Fast and Furious films. I have a video coming out for film theorists. I've analyzed the Corona drinking. That feels weird to say. The Corona drinking in it. Movies do better when they feature Corona. I know every aspect of this franchise, and I just want people to know. I mean, Sean, you look at lists. Too Fast, Too Furious is pretty much right next to Fast and Furious 4 and maybe Tokyo Drift as the least favorite of the franchise. I mean, what'd you say? 9 out of 10 lists have those 3 probably towards the bottom half.
Yes, and it's interesting you bring up the list because I, for whatever reason, never really vested myself into the Fast and Furious franchise until this year. And I watched like 1 through 9, and you were like really fascinated by it because I was like watching almost like one a day. And you were like, where do you rank this one? What do you think? What do you think? And you were actually somewhat impressed that I was, not that the more recent films aren't grandeur, but I was like, because I told you, like, my second favorite film is Tokyo Drift, and you were like, just kind of like, yes, good, you like the older movies, and so I know what you're saying. I just think, as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, the audience reaction gets to be, oh, those early ones were just so cheesy and silly, but they're really charming if you really take the time to enjoy them. I think 1, 2, and 3 have their own certain charms, and I like Tokyo Drift. I like the action sequences going through some of the parking garages, but I know 2 is that's where you have settled. That is your movie, and I love it too.
For me, Too Fast, Too Furious, I can understand the Rotten Tomato meter score, the 5.9 on IMDb. I can understand that. But for Tokyo Drift, Justin Lin, that was his first movie with the franchise. He went on to direct 4, 5, and 6, and now he's back for 9, 10, and 11. Tokyo Drift is a good film. I mean, when have we ever seen Tokyo like that? I mean, just the times that they spend in the just going around Tokyo, looking inside of the gaming areas, the video gaming, the culture. I know what Lucas was the star of it, but I like that kid. It's like a country kid goes to Japan, but like when he goes there, there's not just like whoa stereotypes. He goes there and he starts working on cars. He finds a really good family, which is what the movie's all about. He gets a mentor in Han, who gives my probably favorite performance of the franchise in that film. I mean, the scene where they drift through that Tokyo Square.
Yeah.
I watched it again with Megan, and we just love it. I don't know why. It just seems very, I don't know. I don't know what people were thinking when they watched it, but with Tokyo, like with Too Fast, Too Furious, right? With Fast and Furious, it was Point Break with an electric performance from Vin Diesel. Like we're talking electric performance. It was quite serious. There wasn't much humor. It was more, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Too Fast, Too Furious, I think wisely, John Singleton, I listened to the commentary for this movie, he made it a different film. It's lighter, it's brighter, it's Miami. And also, I think as far as, what's up?
No, it picks up right away in that opening sequence where they have the drag scene sequence, and You have all the four cars are four bright, separate neon. It almost captures like a video game quality. It's light. It comes right out of the, like the first scene is them dropping that road closed sign out of the back of the pickup. And it just captures a much different vibe that this isn't going to be a more grittier tale like we told in the first one, which, I mean, when I say gritty, I'm not talking, dark.
Training Day.
yeah, but I mean, it wasn't bright and fun in the first one. There was a level of a quote unquote serious story. This one didn't even try to capture that. They're like, people want to see cars. People want to see racing. No one's going to be breaking this down like it's, Reds. Let's have fun with it. And they really captured it. And I think we've got so caught up in grittier. We got comic book movies. Now we make the Joker, and now we got to even be like more grittier than the Joker. Like,
oh no,
Furious was like, let's just go to the movies for a bowl of popcorn, and that's why it's that and Tokyo Drift really, I think, to me, capture the imagination.
I love the opening race. You got Slapjack, played by Michael Ealy. You have Orange Julius. You have Suki, who's awesome. Devin Aoki is just so cool in this movie. And great
character names, by the way.
And you got Tej, Ludacris. I mean, this is his first role, and you see he was good in this. He was confident. I think John Singleton knew exactly how to direct him. I mean, John Singleton was nominated for an Oscar when he was 24 for Boys in the Hood. I mean, they got a pedigree director, and he passed away last year, which bums me out. And after listening to the commentary, man, like John Singleton is such a smart man. When Brian shows up, everyone's calling him Bullet, Steve McQueen. And he worked with Cole Hauser on Higher Learning. He brought Cole Hauser in because he wanted to have he called Cole Hauser he called Cole Hauser Paul Newman, and he called Paul Walker Robert Redford. He wanted these matinee idols to be going back and forth. I mean, he brought in Tyrese, who he worked with on Baby Boy, and Tyrese is hilarious in this movie. And you got Ludacris, you have Devin Aoki, you just have this, you have Jimmy, the mechanic, you just have this, like Monica Fuentes. It's just such a cool, diverse film, and everything is about the cars, right? You have the opening race, and then you have the tryout for the race, and then you have the race against the muscle car guys, and then you have the final race at the end, and then you have the stare and drive. I mean, it's all based around fixing cars, car culture, family, a kind of quote-unquote family that's going on at the time. I mean, so at the end I think cops do get killed in this, which bothers me. But it's interesting that, all these cars come out of the warehouse to help Brian and Roman, and the people who lost the races were there to help them. It just shows, I don't know, it's a cool car culture. I mean, all the races, Singleton was inspired by anime, Speed Racer, Gran Turismo. So you watch it, he includes different things. He didn't want him to be as muscular as the first film. I don't know. I just think people watch this. I guess I can see it, like We Hungry and Ejectocito Cuz. And the biggest robbery in this movie, Sean, is the theft of a cigar cutter.
Well, the one thing I love that you bring to movies, and I mean this genuinely, and that's why I like listening to MMF and doing these podcasts with you, and then when we get together, you talked about one of the great things about Too Fast, Too Furious are the low stakes.
Yeah.
And I had never heard it phrased in that way, but it's so true. It's so good because there are such low stakes in this. It's not Bond and the world's going to blow up, or obviously Fast and Furious 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the world's going to blow up. The stakes are about a cigar cutter, and it was such a great way that they played it through the entire movie. Like, it wasn't a one-off joke, and it really, it was just, and it captured a little, like, inner quality to, what's his name? Why am I drawing this blank?
Brian O'Connor?
No, the other one. Roman Pierce. Yeah. Like, I love that. It was like a little quirk in him that he had to steal the cigar cutter. Like a little character depth. And I like how Cole Hauser, who we can both agree needs to come back to this franchise.
Yes, he does.
He needs to come back. He's so over the top awesome in this movie. And the fact that he notices the cigar cutter is just great.
Pockets ain't empty.
he's like living in this pad, and he's noticing the cigar cutter.
It would be insane not to bring him back with the popularity of Yellowstone. I mean,
just the way they bring everyone back,
yeah.
dead or alive, they bring people.
Yeah, exactly. Bring Carter. Yeah. Oh man.
He's not dead.
Bring Carter back. He's all beefy now. He's strong. He's working for Cypher. That'd be badass.
It would be I know we're jumping around, but at the end of the movie, Roman Pierce is like, I'll never see him again. And Paul Walker's like, yes, you will. There's like foreshadowing right there. Like Paul Walker is, he's faced Brian saying, no, he's Argentinian cartel. He'll get out. He'll be back. Like, bring him back.
You don't have that home in Miami and stay in jail long.
No. I grew up in South Florida, man. He may not even gone to jail.
They dropped him off at the corner in a limo and they took him away.
Yeah.
No, wait. They made him take a cab. They made him take a regular cab ride home. That was his punishment.
Yeah. Well, I always think one of the great ironies of the movie is everybody's a racer, right? He's hiring a bunch of racers. And then the way Cole Hauser is going to escape is on a yacht going about 10 miles an hour to Argentina. Like, the whole movie is about Too Fast, Too Furious, and Cole Hauser's escape is like the slowest way possible to get to Florida. Walking would have only been the slowest thing beyond a boat.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what his plan was, but I guess in movie logic it would have worked had Brian not driven his car onto that thing.
And there's always a ramp. There's always a ramp. You notice these things. These are other little things you notice about movies. There's always a ramp for the car that needs to get over some level of space, right? So fortunately for Brian, there was a ramp that perfectly coincided with the yacht. There's always a little elevation for that car to, Now, I know they had the nitrous and whatever, so they probably could get a little lift there too, but,
There's always a ramp. And, okay, I have a quick question for you. How annoyed would you be at Tej if you sign up for a race and he lifts that bridge?
How much damage did he?
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you win 10,000 in the race. You're going to have several thousand in repairs. Those rims on those cars are probably 1,500 each, at least. And so your cost, like your racers are doing like 5,000 in damage with that ramp.
Well, look at Suki's car. Suki's car was completely just mangled.
Yeah, and she was happy. I guess.
Yeah, she was thrilled.
The read I had on her is she's just like a super chill, incredibly rich person. Does that make sense?
And then she ended up hooking up with Tej, so maybe she got all of her repairs done for free. I mean, maybe she had a little, she was like, well, I got about 50 grand here.
Well, Tej does say that, right?
Tej.
Tej is like, come by the body shop and I'll work on that body.
Okay, now here's the thing. Let's go back to the beginning. What I love is like, there are no rules, but then there are like these rules. So they can't drag race with 3 people.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Who made this rule up? Right now, there's 0 rules once they take off. But apparently there's some sort of underground street credo. Oh, we can't do this with 3 people. Oh, we gotta go. Wait, and everyone is cool with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are the rules.
The unwritten rules of the street. Hey, what do you think ever happened to Joaquin? Because he couldn't make it. He had to work the night shift. What do you think's going to happen with him?
Well, that's the other thing. So he's working the graveyard shift, but then you're looking at these cars, and I'm like, you're sitting there going, well, clearly this 4th racer isn't, he's not the chief financial officer, of some, tech company down the street. If he's working the graveyard, he's over at the, American Airlines Arena sweeping up the floor, after the Heat game. So, how are they pulling off these cars?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I don't know if you caught this, but I felt really bad for Slapjack because Michael Ealy, when Brian comes in, he's like, let's lift it to 3,500. And Sookie's like, that's fine. Orange Julius is like, that's cool. But Michael Ealy can't pay rent, and he's going to lose all that money. And I guess I liked that this one at least showed that, like, it made it seem less glamorous, because, like, this guy can't pay his rent now. So at least it has that angle, right? There's people who can't make it. Like, it makes it a little more human, a little bit more true, I guess.
You have to think those races, it rung a little true to me. That when you look at those cars, now street culture, I'm not living in that world anytime soon or have.
Anymore,
right. However, it rang true in the sense that you look at the money that's in these cars and the way they dress, it makes sense that these races are, $1,000, $2,000, $3,500. It made sense to me. It rang true, and it raised the stakes of the race. That said, the raising of the bridge was, while obviously great from a cinematic point of view, it was a real
I'd be so pissed off.
They're all like slapping five with Tej afterwards, like, he's Yoda. Like, dude, no.
Remember when Vince came out and just started fist fighting Brian in the first one? I'd get out of my car and just go after Tej. Like that.
Well, can you imagine Vince in this movie?
Oh.
Do you think Vince would be tolerating half the nonsense going on?
Yeah, he'd be a nightmare in this. Oh, I gotta tell you though, man, I love the dynamic between Roman and Brian more than I like Brian and Dom. Because Dom's just like, you gotta treat your kids good and family. But then his baby mama Elise, I think her name's Elise, gets murdered in the 8th one, and he's like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't know, but what I like.
They really stretch. Dom really has a lot of hypocrisy in it's family of the moment kind of.
Yes, exactly.
But Brian, that scene, the other thing I love about this movie is if you're from South Florida, and I know your
Florida.
wife is, you've lived down there, when you see like scenes from the movie and you see the background and you know that there is zero relationship to where they actually are. I love this scene where they're like talking about screwing over the FBI, right there at the end, and they kind of have a personal moment. Then the next scene is they're in the middle of the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
It's like they're about 100 miles away, but that shot is so amazing. They make it seem like it's like down the street, and that's that. But it's that great, powerful scene where Roman finally takes responsibility for himself and his actions, and Brian explains a little bit. And to me, that was very real and touching for a fun, light movie that maybe Brian and Dom don't have. These guys grew up together, and you could feel it a little.
And I love the evolution of their relationship. So when they first meet, I love their first fight. He's like, you still fight like shit, bro. And they're on the ground just fighting, and that one guy's eating popcorn, just watching them brawl.
When Brian goes, hey, whatever happens, just let it go. Like, Brian knew right away that this was about to happen.
Oh, that was so great. Oh, I love that scene. And I like when they're on the ground, Brian just throws sand at Roman. He's like, shut up. Like, and then later on, when they do the race together, when they do the tryout, that's when they start kind of working together and having fun again. They're flicking each other off. Brian's going in reverse. They actually start using a little teamwork. But then they get to Carter Verone's house, and they're sitting at a table with Monica, and they're like, shut up. You shut up. You shut up. You shut up. And then Monica's like, both of you shut up. And and then, like you said, they do a little bit more work together. They had the race, and then at the end, they bond in front of the Keys. Singleton directed it where he's like, yeah, these are two like alpha guys. They're not going to be looking each other in the eyes. So they didn't look each other in the eyes until the very end. They kind of express their emotions. And at the end, they're a team. They're brothers again. Like, pockets ain't empty, cuz like we're going to spend the rest of our lives hanging out. It didn't really work out like that. But I love that. Like, it's a good, like, Singleton knew what he was doing with their relationship, and he directed it really well. There's
somebody that's not into cars. What I loved about this movie was it brought me, I thought, into the world in a more fun way than the first one, into this world of cars and drag racing. Now, I know the first one was not as light. It tried to recreate on some levels just there's no 4-mile Grand Prix lap in downtown Miami for that opening drag race where there's 0 cars anywhere. So you suspend your belief a little bit in 2, where 1 is 100 yards. They try to capture maybe a more realistic version of it. But I really felt like that car culture really was captured in 2 and 3. Now, I know that they had the big road to car show out in the desert in the first one, and then they revisit it later, and I think in 4 or 5. But I don't know, that opening sequence with the bright lights, and then Tej's garage looks like something built at Disney World. It was just big and colorful. It had the neon Tej's garage, and the lifts were like bright neon yellow, and it brought, I feel like, a non-racing car person. It invited them into the movie to enjoy it, where the first one really was delved towards teenagers and car culture. They really tried to capture that. This really, I thought, opened up the audience for adults, and my wife was kind of more interested in 2. Like, oh, this is kind of silly and fun. And I thought John Singleton did a good job broadening the audience.
No, absolutely. And it's just, I love the adherence to the diverse cast. Like, I'm telling you, this movie feels so refreshing, and it feels refreshing in a couple ways. It just, I love just, you're watching Paul Walker and Tyrese have fun on screen. And we were talking about A Knight's Tale the other day. And what I like about A Knight's Tale is there's really, like, when Heath Ledger's character becomes famous, he doesn't become a big jerk and leave his friend. The biggest issues in A Knight's Tale are, he has a brief argument with Shannon Sossman, and then they make up. And then at the end, he's in the stocks for about 2 minutes, and then he's out. And that's what makes it such a good, watchable film. And like we said about Too Fast, Too Furious, there's such low stakes, and I think it makes it the most watchable. The first Fast and the Furious, you betrayed me, and then the third one, actually I can watch that a lot. The fourth one, you have like Letty's death, and then the fifth one's really watchable. But like when you get later on, just you have people dying, you have double crosses, and so not only did he make it more Singleton, I just think he made it more inclusive, and he just made it very watchable. I don't know.
Yeah, but we talk about Customs Agent Murtaugh in this podcast.
Yeah,
that sequence with Roman when at the boathouse or the boat storage where Cole Hauser sends him, which I love, is he doesn't even give him an address. I love that scene where, okay, my Ferrari has been impounded at a boat lot, or a boat storage place. Go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have an address at least? These guys just take off like they know where it is. But they get there, and then that sequence where Murtaugh pulls up and he pulls out, and then Roman just starts unloading.
Yes, I love it.
He just starts firing at this customs agent, and the way it's handled, like 5 minutes later, is you're a jerk. Yeah, you're a jerk. Settle down. Like, okay, like we just opened fire with deadly force, and this was resolved in 2 seconds.
It's amazing, isn't it? I love it. Like, well, you almost blew our cover. We had to do this. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to tell you something real quick. You reminded me. I love that scene where Brian says, yeah, it's 3 exits after the bridge. Remember that. And Roman's like, okay. And remember when we had to know directions?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I didn't have a cell phone, right, until I was 18. And so in high school, no, 21. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 21. So I didn't have any GPS. I had crappy cars. So people would be like, okay, so you go up to High Road, you take a left, and then you take a right at Johnson, and then you take a left at Carter Verone. Okay, cool, I got it. And then it made me, I don't know, it made me reminiscent of that when we used to, I didn't even have printouts from MapQuest. I just sort of.
Well, you didn't because they were always wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if that brought back memories to you where, take the 3rd exit. Oh, okay. Now it's like you have a GPS. Where are we at? What does it say? I don't know. It just brought back fun memories for me in regards to,
I didn't think of that. But I think what I thought of was just a corollary of that was why aren't they using their GPS? And then it dawns on you when the movie was made.
Yeah.
So, and what was that device? Like, we've never seen it before, and we've never seen it since. This cop device that that shuts down all the electronic equipment in the car. This is like a pretty badass device that these cops have, and we've never seen it since.
Actually, Singleton made it up for this movie. He just was like, I need to stop Brian, and I don't want him getting cornered. We need to find a different way to catch him. So he invented that. But in 6, it comes back, and Brian remembers it, and Brian does that sweet move where he knocks it off. So they make a callback to 2 where Brian's like, I've seen this before. Thunk, knocks it off. But Roman flips. Roman's car goes flying because of that. But Brian does like something in reverse and wails it off. So that's why 6 and 2 are my favorites, I think, because of that thing. But yeah, sorry to you said it didn't come back. I wasn't trying to like correct you, but I thought it was a fun comment.
No, I'm glad you said that. I forgot that in 6 and when they're in the mountains, that's where it did come back. That's a great point.
Hey, so if you're going to get an engine, are you going to get a Gallows 24 or a Gallows 48?
It's like Brian is in, and he gets arrested. Yeah, and he's just like, I don't know, Brian. I've never heard of him. I don't know who he's talking about. And then Bilkins comes in, and then next scene, Brian's calling all the shots. Oh, you want me to do this? Oh, this is your partner, and he totally calls him out. The guy knows Jack. Well, we're going to get this. And then who does he pick? A 3-time, like a guy who's been in prison for 3 years, whatever. And they're like, okay. Okay. They completely they give him everything he wants. And I love in movies how your record can be completely erased. It's just like, oh, we'll just make it all go away. Boom, done. Oh, you do this for us. Gone. Okay.
They get Steve Buscemi's character from Con Air. If you help us out, if you help us take out Carter Verone, we'll clear your record. Like, oh, okay.
Sure, why not? Sounds good to me. There's like zero paperwork, no lawyers in the room.
Oh, man.
And I love how Roman is in Barstow, and Brian goes, he's acting all, A-list, kind of alpha male. Brian goes, why are you acting like you're not going to take this deal? In the next scene, they're in Miami, right? So they've now gone from Barstow, California. Now they're all the way back in Miami. And right when Roman gets to the door is when he decides to have second thoughts.
Yeah, I don't trust this, man.
I don't trust this. Like, really? You've been traveling for 2 days? Like, right when you're like 10 yards from the door, you're having problems with this.
Oh, I love it. And also, how great is this introduction? He's a demolition derby driver. And that's more cars being used. And I think that explains his character. Remember his fight in Fast and Furious 6, where it's him and Han against the henchman who beats the living daylights out of him? Yeah. Roman's just a brawler. Establishing
the shot in Barstow is so awesome, where you see the mountain ranges in middle eastern California, and it's just, you see Barstow, and that desert. I love that it reminded me a little bit of Tokyo Drift, those establishing shots, the neon of downtown Tokyo, and there were some great downtown shots of Miami too, like lit up and everything. So, but that Barstow scene I think is underrated, especially with Bilkins kind of as the kind of the whole scene.
Just eating popcorn.
Yeah. Oh, what about the scene when they show up and Bilkins has got like a Tommy Bahama shirt on? He's like, nice shirt, my day off.
Yeah. So John Singleton had the casting director get the ugliest shirts possible for him on that to give him that. So they found this terrible yellow shirt and they just put him on him as a joke. Oh, that makes me so happy.
One of the things that you have changed my life on in following movies is Henchmen. And where Miguel and Enrique, where do they stand in the Henchmen Hall of Fame?
Oh, they're okay. You know what? Top 5. Because
really?
This is why. I like you're a good driver, man. When he looks over and says you're a good driver. And they're not hyper stylized, right? They feel very Miami.
Oh, the silk shirts and the blazers.
And there's a little Keystone Cops to them at certain points, and I love all their arguments. They're these guys who have to deal with Roman lighting their car on fire and just being a brat. And they're just woefully underprepared. And I think that's what you get when you hire henchmen. I don't like those henchmen. So as much as I love a Shane Black movie, sometimes I feel like the henchmen in those movies are too stylish. They're the right hand, like Mr. Joshua from Lethal Weapon, or the Last Boy Scout. Oh man, I forget his name. But yeah, like I don't like it when henchmen are. If it's a mercenary team, I like all of them being tough. But I like the henchmen just sort of being. I love how they're bumbling in this. They're capable. They're scary. They're big dudes. But they're just there to get beat up on by Brian and Roman, and that makes me happy. And you know their names. You know their names.
True. And they somehow have gotten involved. Clearly, they had. The way I view it is they knew. You know, they know Cole Hauser. Got to keep calling him Cole Hauser. But I always get this sense like they've known him since grade school, high school. Somehow they've known each other, and all of a sudden it's like they're not good enough to get a job. They're not smart enough to be like a criminal. So I kind of feel like they just kind of fall into, well, it's just like we're loyal. And we're just kind of following him through life. That's how I kind of view, like they're loyal to him, but they just don't have enough skill sets to like get a job or be like rob a bank. they just know who they are. They're just like muscle. We like this is our intellectual and physical capabilities in life, and we found a guy that'll pay us to do it.
Exactly. They show up on time every day. I think they're very prompt. They'll probably take direction really well. And I guess in any other case, if they're going to go battle Deborah and Joaquin, they're going to win. But they're up against Brian and Roman, and they're not. I don't think they're used to this. I think they're just used to standing next to him while he puts rats on people's belly and looking tough. It just seems like he's probably protected by the like Argentinians too. So they're just there to sort of be his buds, to hang out with and be his henchmen. But no, I like them, man. They make me laugh. So okay, one real quick. I keep forgetting to do this, but when Brian enters the first race, John Singleton made sure that his car was shooting out steam or exhaust to look like a bull. So Brian was the stud in the race. He was the king.
Interesting.
Yeah, so watch it again and you'll be like, "Oh wow, like he's the bull. He's the stud."
That's interesting. And did John Singleton bring up any points as to why Brian was driving on the right side of the car and everyone else was on the left side? The only reason I felt that was from a visual standpoint. If he's on one side of the car, he could be closer to the window to look at someone. I was thinking that was the reason, instead of a shot that had to go through a passenger seat to see him. Did he bring that up, why he was driving a car? And you and I both have our adventures in driving in Ireland on the right side of the road with the steering wheel on the right. I always wondered why in that opening drag sequence, Brian's car his steering wheel is on the right side.
Yeah, they never discussed that. But it's also, I think his first car is a Skyline, so maybe it's just a stylistic choice. Maybe it's a car he rebuilt. Who knows how long he's been in Miami, right? Building his money. So maybe he just built that car up.
Noticeable. I figured it was just that opening sequence is so stylized, it's so colorful, and it does separate him. The other three drivers are in the standard left cockpit. Brian's in the right cockpit, so that kind of was a differentiator as well. Maybe there was nothing more to it than that. Just a style.
It could be a psychological thing. You know how sometimes they'll put actors in power colors, and then they'll do that. So maybe it was just sort of a way to differentiate the hero from that. And before we go to break, I just want to talk about one scene when Roman and Brian are just stomping on Roberto. I love that. I think it's Roberto. They're just stomping on him. And yeah, John Singleton though says that when he showed the movie in different audiences, they loved it because Brian and Roman just went full street on the guy and they just kicked him for about 45 seconds. Like that's like a classic. Like, you'll see that on the street. Like, that's street fighting right there, just stomping a dude.
And there's an extra, like, when you think the fight in movie terms would be over, that fight doesn't end. There's, like, another 10 seconds where you think, like, you see, like, what you think is the final haymaker movie punch that puts someone out cold. That doesn't. they keep then they start kicking him. There's it's deliberate. They added on another 20 seconds of them just stomping on the guy.
So I guess in audiences they just love seeing that because I'm telling you, it's little touches like that in this movie that people really took to. And I think, I don't know, I guess as a critic who's never stomped on somebody, you don't really pick up on that. But no, hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more Too Fast, Too Furious. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I have a surprise for you, Sean. We're going to do a Tyrese draft. All right? We're going to do a Tyrese Gibson movie draft.
Okay.
So we're each going to pick 5, and then you can vote on it the day after this episode comes out. So we're going to draft Tyrese Gibson movies, and then we are going to vote on them on MFF. So Sean, since I just dropped this on you, I'm going to let you have the first pick.
So we're since you're springing this on me, this is Fast and Furious Tyrese movies.
Or okay. All of them. Any movie that he's been in.
Not the first one, so
yeah.
We can't. So from two through, and he's not in Hobbs and Shaw.
No, any of his movies. I'm talking Waist Deep, Annapolis, The Take, all of his movies. Any Tyrese Gibson movie.
Oh my goodness! I wish I would have prepared a little harder for this. Okay.
I just thought about it. That's why I drop it on people.
I'm just going to start right in the Fast and Furious franchise, and I'm going to go with 5. It's my favorite movie of the series, and Tokyo Drift. Those are my 2 favorites. But that movie really is the most. That's where what I love about that movie per se is when you watch Too Fast and Too Furious and you see Tyrese and you see Tej. In no way are you getting any indication of where their careers are about to go in the next 5 to 7 years. Like, you don't get one inkling of anything that Tej is going to become like one of the 3 greatest code breakers in the world. You don't get any sense that Roman is going to be becoming one of these great action heroes of all time. So that's what I love about 5. It's the evolution of, all right, these are like normal people. Let's move on.
That's a beautiful pick, and I was so happy when they came back because I've always loved this movie. So I'm just going to take Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm doing Too Fast, Too Furious. So you're up. I'm going to lose now because I picked that movie, but that's fine. So then you get
Then
there's a clincher in here.
Well, then, you think?
Yeah, I think there's a clincher.
God. See, to me, he's Roman Pierce, so it's so hard for me to pick anything that isn't Roman Pierce. So, golly, I'm just gonna do 6 because 5 and 6 are kind of like one big movie to me. So I'll do 6. I think that's kind of like the evolution of him.
I'm gonna do Transformers.
He was in Transformers?
Yeah, I'm taking him. So I have Too Fast and Transformers. You have Fast 5 and 6.
Let's see, you took 2. Then I get all these movies confused. I'm trying to think. Then I'm going to go with 8.
All right. So you
can because I like him, and I like him on the what do you call it? The ice.
Oh yeah. And he gets a moment to kill people.
That whole sequence, like he definitely shows a little more. There's a little more depth to him in that, and if he's funny in that car, like he can't, like the whole swimming situation and everything like that, the subs. So that would be where I would go.
All right, I'm gonna take Four Brothers, another John Singleton movie where he gets together with Andre 3000, Mark Wahlberg, directed by John Singleton. I'm taking that. So that's my 3rd pick. So you have Fast 5, 6, and 8. I have Too Fast, Transformers, and Four Brothers.
All right. Now I'm trying to remember. What was the movie with Jason Statham he was in?
Death Race.
Death Race. That's it. That's the one.
I like that. I like that movie a lot. We covered it on the pod. It's a fun episode. I dig it. All right, so you got Death Race. I'm gonna take Baby Boy because that's all him dealing with Ving Rhames, which always makes me laugh. So I'm gonna take Baby Boy for my 4th pick.
And then, if you took the first Transformers, then I'm gonna take the last one he was in, which was just a horrible movie in every way, but he was great. Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Got it.
He was the only shining light in that movie.
He's the all right. So you got your 5. I'm up. So he was in Annapolis with Justin Lin and James Franco. So he was part of that. Let's see, Flight of the Phoenix. That was fun. Legion with Paul Bettany. Oh man,
Was it?
yeah.
Man, I forgot that.
He was in Ride Along 2. Let me see. Oh, Black and Blue. I liked him a lot in that movie. He's really good in that movie.
Yeah, I can't say I saw Right Along too.
Let's
that
see.
That wouldn't have been there.
Oh man. Okay, so I'll take Black and Blue. That's his most recent movie. He's so different from Roman that it just shows he's a good actor. He's a really good actor. So I'm gonna take that. So you can go and you have Fast 5, 6, and 8, Death Race, and Dark of the Moon. I have Too Fast, Too Furious, Baby Boy, Black and Blue, Transformers, and Four Brothers.
And
I like
I'm just looking at this. He's going to be in Morbius.
Oh yeah, he is going to be in Morbius. Oh, that's awesome, dude. All right. So we got our draft done.
Question for you.
Yeah.
You are a student of cinematography. Is there a movie you have ever seen that, in the history of films, that is better than Too Fast, Too Furious, with shots of just eyes and eye reactions, than Too Fast, Too Furious?
It's amazing that you asked me that because in the commentary, John Singleton said that he wanted the Lee Van Cleef good, the bad, and the ugly shots. So at the standoff, when it's just they get closer to the eyes, John Singleton wanted to add Western elements to this. So he had his cinematographer John Leonetti do those shots. So yeah, I mean this guy also did Commando, which is amazing. And he did Red Heat, Action Jackson, Ice Pirates. So he did Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Poltergeist.
That's my childhood right there. Ice Pirates, man. But the scene, like, they set it up so well because it's either Miguel or Enrique at the end when they show just the close up of his eyes when he's about to get, I think, gets ejected from the car. It's just so brilliant. It's so awesome. And it's just this tight shot of his eyes.
It's so great that I'm telling you, it's awesome that you brought it up because Singleton singled that out. Oh, brother. But yeah, he wanted the Lee Van Cleef shots. He wanted the eye reactions. He likes to pan in. He likes to get those shots. So yeah, I mean, I think of the franchise. Yeah, I mean, look at the eye work in this movie. It's excellent. I guess we'll go back. We'll say some Sergio Leone. Leone's really good. Maybe Tarantino does good eye stuff. Edgar Wright is good with the close-ups with kind of the eyes, but no, they don't match Too Fast, Too Furious.
No, it's brilliant. it's a little thing, but when you see the movie a couple times, you pick up on how often he does it throughout the movie, and it really works. It really does work. It kind of gives it a fun, lighthearted. It captures the lightheartedness of it a little bit because the reactions, some of them are really like over the top. So.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but what do you think about the kind of CGI-addled aspects of these races? So he would shoot the races on location, and then they would go on green screen, shoot it on a gimbal to shake them around. Singleton really wanted to have an anime look to it, like a Gran Turismo video game look, different from Fast and Furious. Did you like the CGI additions to these races, or were you not all for them?
You know, it's interesting you asked that because when I rewatched it last night, I did consciously make a note about that. I liked it. I liked it because I hate it when movies do CGI where they're really trying to make it look real and it comes off bad. What I don't mind is when it, like in Too Fast, Too Furious, where the CGI is, look, we're not trying to, we want this to be part of the movie. You're going to know that some of it's a little CGI, and that's okay. I like it when the director does that. So I actually enjoyed it because they weren't trying to hide it. They weren't trying to pretend that this was an absolute real race and this is like real, and they're trying to they kind of I don't want to say spoofed it, but they they showed it. There was like an anime feel. I'm glad you used that word and I liked it that they embraced it instead of trying to like, no, there's like no CGI. There's no. It's too real. It's too real. It's too real. It's so real. It's like, come on, man. We know it. You can't pull some of these shots off without it. So come on. So embrace it. Now I don't care for it when they really embrace it, like in Indiana Jones and the Apology, the Crystal Skull, but the where they really just try to get super campy with it. But he embraced it, and then I love the credit sequence too because it almost recreates the opening drag sequence. And I watched the whole credits because I thought that whole final pure animation of that drag sequence was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's why I hate these lazy reviews of this movie.
There's a lot of time and effort put into this movie. This isn't Police Academy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like that's what it gets thrown into. Like it's a Police Academy movie, and it's not.
Yeah.
There's some good writing to it. Even the silly, like you might think is like on a first glance is bad dialogue. Like, shut up, man, shut up. It's actually good dialogue. It's supposed to be a little campy, but it's good. It carries, and there's some character depth. I mean, we have really spent this whole thing and really have not delved into Carter Verone, who is Cole Hauser. I mean, it is just so brilliant. Like, I don't know if you noticed this at the beginning when they do the download on the screen that they're at the customs. I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and there's no better job description when you just don't know what somebody can do. And so when Jerry goes, well, what do you do for a living? He goes, I'm an importer-exporter. Because it's just so generic. Well, that's what the customs agent says Carter Verone is. He goes, oh, he's an importer-exporter. It was clearly like, okay, what does he do? Well, it doesn't matter. So he's just an importer-exporter.
I love it.
It's great. He's an importer-exporter. And then he's born in Argentina, but he's lived his life in Miami. So don't question why he doesn't look or sound Argentinian through the rest of this movie.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's like one line of, like, I feel like John Singleton was like, okay, we are going to write some ridiculous dialogue here so no one questions it. Oh, he's Argentinian. He doesn't look Argentinian. He doesn't sound Argentinian. Oh, no, he was born there. He just was raised in Miami. Oh,
who knows? Yeah, who knows where his parents are? They never really tell you. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, maybe they're on vacation.
And let's be clear. That pad he's living in, he's doing well.
He's import-exporting the heck out of import-export.
It's like he's living like a cartel, like the head of the cartel. He's not living like some guy who works for the cartel. He's working like he's running the damn thing, and he's living large down there, man.
Man, that's a great point too. He's basically Tony Montana with that pad. So he has much larger connections, I would say.
Well, at the end of the movie, when Brian goes, "Oh, he's going to jail." No, he's not. He'll be.
Yeah. Here's your limo, sir.
Yeah. But that was another thing, the over-the-topness of, he's so good. I mean, he's so great as Rip in Yellowstone, but he's so good in this where he could have really driven off the edge, no pun intended, with that character. And he plays it with a little bit of restraint. He knows it's campy. He's got the silk shirts that, that are opened up to his, to the middle of his chest. He's got the cigar cutter. He plays it large, but there is some level of restraint to it that kind of makes it kind of fun.
Yeah. Because he's acting alongside Paul and Roman, who are larger than life. So if you have three of them in the room, but it was good acting decisions. And John Singleton kept saying it. He was just like, man, I love Cole Hauser's face. So he just, Cole Hauser shows up, acts like a tough guy. And you know what I like? He doesn't prove he's a tough guy in this one. I don't like villains who have way too much swagger.
Right.
Because I think you make another good point. He's the boss, so he acts like the boss. He doesn't act, hey, man, I'll fist fight you. Like I don't know. I dig it. I like the restraint. He's been there, done that. Maybe he's a little overconfident in it, but oh, man, what about that scene at the bar when they go to the club? And also what I love is Eva Mendes was talking about how she prepared for this role. They also did a driving school, which is amazing. But also in behind the scenes, it's just Paul Walker and Roman punching each other Tyrese punching each other the entire time behind the scenes. And John Singleton's like, all right, dum-dums, pay attention. All right, idiots. Come on, you guys. And then there's one time where John Singleton goes, come on, you guys. Like they were just sillying around on. It was maybe so funny. But when they go to the club, when Brian's talking to Monica, and then you just see him in the background watching. Like I don't know. He gets it. He knows. Like, he's observant. And I think it's minor scenes like that really work. And then Megan, my wife, she always talks about the rat in the bucket scene because you don't see anything. You don't see anything, but you're just, wow. You can see it, but you don't see it.
There's some great sound editing with that scene with the blowtorch. You can hear the rat. There's so many subtle things. That's a great point that Megan makes, that you don't see it, but you can feel it through the sound editing and the way they shot it. It really is pretty powerful. I mean, that's the point. This isn't Police Academy. It's actually a good movie with some real dedicated professionals putting it together. They're just not slapping something together. And it's amazing we're this far in and we haven't even talked about that scene. I mean, and that's the one. And it's the one scene that bothers me is the next scene is when Monica shows up at the boat the next day. Like she sneaks out. It's the only one that it's the only scene where I know there's a connective tissue to it for the movie, but she's in for a year and then she just sneaks out and then she's kissing, they're boyfriend, girlfriend all of a sudden on the boat with Paul Walker. I'm like, all right, this doesn't jive. Although Roman is great talking to the two henchmen. Oh. When they show up. He is that when he's buying time. But she's good in the movie, but I don't know, she's not the greatest I don't know. It's like I sit there and go, man, could she have really pulled off a year undercover?
Yeah, that scene takes some of the agency away from her a little bit, if you think about it.
They weaken her. They make her into a trope woman that needs Paul Walker and Roman all of a sudden, where she's a very strong woman through the first half of the movie.
And this is really weird, but in Blade 2, I like it a lot. But the main vampire badass, she takes Blade on in a one-on-one fight to a draw. And then at the end, she's incapable of fighting. And you're like, what is... Well, you fought Blade to a draw. This is... I don't know.
Yeah, they turned... She was great in the first half of this movie, and then they kind of turned her into a
hostage.
Yeah. She was weak. I mean, I know, she comes out at the end. She clearly beats up the henchman down below after the car lands and she's got the shotgun or whatever. But they really did her kind of a little bit of a disservice for the back half of the movie. After they set her up, she's out on the streets looking for drivers. They really set her up at the beginning to be a pretty strong-willed woman. And, they really kind of laid off a little bit. They kind of, what do they call fridging? What's the term?
They didn't quite kill her. They kind of cooled her off a little bit. Yeah, it's annoying. I get it. And no, I think you're right.
Do so much in 2 hours. I mean, you gotta end the movie.
Yeah,
you can't have character development for everything.
I think that's why that people love this franchise too. That aside from this scene, you have Letty beating everybody up. You have Gina Carano fighting people. Ronda Rousey fighting people. Megan loves Nathalie Emmanuel's character. So my wife works in the IT field in computers and technology, and so she loves that Nathalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones is one of the greatest hackers on the planet, like a female badass hacker. She loves that aspect of the character, and so yeah, I mean, I'd like it if Monica came back as kind of a badass. That'd be a nice addition to it.
Yeah, they brought Han back, but they should bring back. I don't know. They did Carter Verone, Monica Fuentes. They absolutely. I mean, what they already come out and said what they're going to do.
To 11.
And then they're going to do 2 more. There has to be some sort of circle back to.
She pops up in 5, right? Monica Fuentes at the end of it, or is that
right.
6? And I was like, cool, no, she's back.
Yeah, but it's not material.
Yeah, I would love it. Yeah, put him in a movie. They killed off Letty. They killed off Han. Just bring back Vince. Who cares? Bionic zombie.
Well, maybe in this movie, they kill off Letty and Dom is now dating Monica, and they'll be like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not to Monica. It's all about family.
Oh man. So okay, real quick. This is totally off Too Fast, Too Furious, and we still have a lot to talk about. But if Han's alive in 9, I have a couple weird theories here. So either Jason Statham flipped the car, put him in a Black Ops area, and turned him. So Han could be the villain in this movie, the undercover villain in 9, and then be the overall villain for the rest of the franchise. Or does he become a part of the team?
It wouldn't shock me, but I feel like Han is so set in stone. It's almost like when Dom was against his family, that was kind of the whole trope through the movie, and we thought he was kind of like the bad guy, or and the team. If they did something like that with Han, I feel like they would bail it out at the end of 10 or 11, and you'd find out he was really like, I was compromised by such and such. I feel like they wouldn't stick to it.
He has an implant in his brain.
Yeah. I think Han's too beloved for them to like turn him into like, Charlize Theron or anything like that. Cypher.
They had my family.
Yeah.
They did that again?
Well, the one thing I would say is, with what was Gal Gadot's? What was
Gal Gadot? Her name? Oh gosh,
I can't even think of it. But that was like one of the cool love affairs, like one of the relationships series, and that was actually heartbreaking. So
Giselle.
It'll be great. It's what?
Giselle.
So obviously in 9 or 10, when they bring back Giselle, who it turns out did not die in a ball of wreckage flames on that runway. It turns out she jumped out just in the nick of time. It'll be nice when they bring her back.
Yeah, bring back Wonder Woman. Holy crap, to be with Han. She's like, I was just badly wounded, and I
like about Too Fast, Too Furious. It's because we've talked about the way they swung characters a little bit in this franchise, and it can get a little annoying. One thing I like about Too Fast, Too Furious is it's it's fun, and they are who they are. As the series goes on and people come back from the dead, and Letty's on one side, they bring her back because she has amnesia. Like, it starts getting into the more pulpy, and they wanted about family and this, that. I mean, what are your thoughts on, as they kind of continue to advance this series, how they keep, like you're saying, they have no problems clearly with people doing 180s with their personalities in this franchise.
Yeah, it's bonkers, man. Because they'll just bring them back. It gives it a slightly slapdash feel. But Justin Lin claims that they planned for Letty to be dead in 4 and then come back in 6. That was their plan all along. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
But yeah, you know what I like about this movie too, and I'm thinking about it now. They're very unapologetic about the characters. Like they're not trying. Like, these guys aren't trying to be cool either. I mean, Brian and these guys are slapping each other, and they're just acting like I don't know. They're not trying to make Roman cool at all. Even though the shirtless scene with Tyrese, he told Singleton, he's like, action movie characters have to take off their shirt, so I'm taking off my shirt in this movie. So that's why he did it.
But they do cover it with dialogue when they're walking back, and Brian says, "Put your blouse back on."
Yeah, and the door was unlocked the whole time anyway.
Yes, yeah, that was So clearly, John Singleton was like, "All right, you want to take your shirt off, but we are going to mock you for the rest of this scene." Yeah. For it. So, and apparently Tyrese was more than okay with it.
I adore this movie, man. Oh, I love it. I love it.
What about we really didn't even get into the final. So the one thing I wanted to bring up was that final race sequence where we really haven't talked about it, but I thought we were talking about the car culture, and I thought that the whole situation where they all went into the warehouse and then they came out, I thought the visuals behind that were pretty awesome. First they had the trucks come out, but then it was like the shots from the helicopters and the aerial shots and just all the kind of manic craziness, and it would cut to like tight shots of them driving. You could really feel being inside those cars and how tight and claustrophobic it was. I thought it was a really well choreographed final sequence, and it was a great surprise the way they shot it, where it turns out it was Tej and Suki in the cars, and then obviously the two guys were in the muscle cars going down at the Keys. Because I remember watching this the first time going, you cannot drag race in the Keys. You cannot go 100 miles an hour down US 1 in the Keys. Like I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, you're going to insult me a little bit if you're trying to convince me that you can drive down a 2-lane road with 8,000 cars. And the way they set it up was so brilliant that everyone went one way, and it's just the two of these guys in muscle cars driving down the Keys. I'm like, this gets back to your point. There were so many things I kept thinking, okay, this is where the cheese factor comes in, and they actually thought through the plot and made it work. And I thought it was just really, really well done.
The only part that hurt me about that scene is when the monster truck murders the cop. That monster truck, doesn't it run over the car and just stay there?
Yeah, I guess you just kind of like go with the flow with that. Like, all right, he's probably okay. Like, normally,
yeah. You're right.
Okay, he probably broke an arm, but yeah.
Remember
the one in the opening drag sequence, which always drives me crazy when he drives backwards, and he like. Why don't we get refocused on the job at hand instead of screwing around? They almost missed the exit. Like, how would the movie have gone if Brian had missed that exit? That would have meant that the other guys would have gotten to the Ferrari first, because these two were hot dogging it on the highway, and those other guys would have got to the Ferrari first. Like, they wouldn't have been like on the job. They wouldn't have gotten the job.
Oh yeah, and that's what I love about these characters. Brian gets caught. He almost misses the exit. Their jump at the end. They fly in the car and they're about to get killed. Roman's acting like a brat the whole time because Monica likes Brian more. I like how they make him just look kind of dumb. Not dumb, but human.
What I also liked is when the car landed, it wasn't like they just like jumped out like John McClane in Die Hard. It was like, like they were like hurt. Like Roman broke his arm. It looked like Brian had a concussion. It was really Monica that came out and put the gun to Cole Hauser, because Cole Hauser comes over, Carter Verone. I don't know. I like there was like a little believability in something that was completely unbelievable in that jump. But then the fact that they were actually injured on it was like, okay, I can buy it. I'll go with it.
And then in Fast and Furious 4, Vin Diesel gets shot in the shoulder and forgets about it. So this series goes along. Gets a lot different. But also, I love the way they filmed that scene. So they had that yacht, but they took everything out of the car and they put a dummy car on the yacht. But then they went in a huge parking lot outside of a stadium and had this giant car on a rig smashing into a fake boat that they built. So it's pretty cool how they did the whole thing. Very expensive, but it's not a cheeky gag. They had to do a lot of work to get that. But no, you're right. They were injured. You would be injured, Sean. If you and I did that, we'd probably fall after 20 feet. But, I mean, let's go get on that boat and we miss it.
You and I were doing it. It'd be like in Starsky and Hutch. We missed the boat altogether.
There's no ramp. There's just no ramp. And so you and I just fly into the water.
Yeah, the car would just go off the road right into the water.
I love it that they got hurt. I think they put a lot of work into that jump. I like it. I also like the race against the muscle cars, about how Roman messes up, and it's up to Brian to save the day. And I love when that guy starts revving his engine and Tyrese's smile fades. I love it. And then I like the muscle car guys. They're like, oh, where'd you get those matchstick cars? He's like, yeah, funny one, Fonzie. Like that. And how about the wrist bracelets that people are, the forearm bracelets that people are wearing? It's so 2000s, man. I love it. And the East Side, West Coast choppers.
It's so much fun. The series, all the movies have their own wonderment to them. They're all fun, but they just grow way too serious. The franchise becomes like a little too serious, which is fine. I mean, I enjoy them. What captures me is kind of, we come to the end of this, is 2 and 3 just capture, like, what you always talk about is why you go to the movies, why it's fun. It doesn't have to be, ordinary people every time you go to the movie theater. It doesn't have to be
Kramer versus Kramer.
Kramer versus Kramer. It can be fun. And look, the series is, it's made $8 billion. It's a franchise unlike anything we've seen in recent times, as far as a new, outside, I guess, maybe Marvel. So it clearly has struck a nerve and a chord. But what makes 2 and 3 so much fun is they really just capture the fun, the colors, why you like sitting back when we could in a dark theater and watch movies, because these later ones, man, they're 2.5 hour commitments. I mean, they are serious stories with lots of complicated plot lines. And you're like, okay, what just happened? What I love about Too Fast, Too Furious, you don't have to really think. You can just sit back and enjoy it. And low stakes, it's great. And I encourage everyone out there to go just give it a rewatch and stop comparing it to 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just watch it for what it is. It's great. It's fun.
It's 100 minutes long. It's beautiful.
We don't have enough of those. Yeah. Everything's got to be a 2 hour, 45 minute, commitment. It's your whole day.
I love it when I do a podcast and I see that the movie's 90 minutes. I'm like, yeah. But no, I'm glad you joined me on this. I really enjoyed your commentary while watching all the Fast and Furious movies. So before we leave, just give me a ranking of all 9.
Well, I will say when I first did this, 2 was really low, because at first, when you watch them like I did, like 1 through 9, you kind of get sucked in a little bit to the evolution of it. You're like almost like kind of caught up in the next story, what's going to happen next, what's happening next. So, but in retrospect, I still would say 5 and 6 are still kind of the masterpieces of the franchise. But then I would literally go 2, 3, 1. I think 1 is great. I think it really set a great tone. 2 and 3, we've talked about it here. I mean, I would do a Tokyo Drift one with you, man. I mean, I just think 3 is just so cool. Some of the shots in that. And then we get into, 4 was the reset. I think that's the weakest of the franchise. And then, kind of like, I don't know if we put Hobbs and Shaw in there. I'd put Hobbs and Shaw right there at the top end. But I think the later ones are, to me, the weaker ones. The 8 and 9. They're fun. They're big, fun, expensive movies, but they're just a little overly serious.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
They murder that woman, the baby, the mom.
That one's a problem.
Yeah. And, you know what? Megan got really mad about that, because in the 5th one, she's this really cool cop. And the 6th one, Dom's like, see you later, Letty's alive. And then the 7th one, she becomes this great agent and then in the 8th one, they just kill her because they got to get her out of the way because Letty's back.
Well, it's like almost the definition of fridging. Like, we're really going to get rid of you.
Yeah.
This isn't even like Deadpool. Like, we'll bring you back like in a heaven sequence, to bring out, like, this is like, goodbye. Thank you for helping evolve Dom as a human being. Now get the hell out of here.
Exactly. And the 8th didn't need that character development, right? It didn't need it.
Themselves up in the stakes, but it didn't need it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But no, well, thank you for joining me, man. This was a lot of fun, and I would absolutely do Tokyo Drift with you. I adore that movie.
Yeah, I think you were shocked when I first watched it, and I was telling you, like, I don't know, man. I just keep like watching this 3. I like watching this Tokyo Drift, and you were like, I'm so happy to hear that.
Dude, Han's so cool. I love that. Like, I'm telling you, I just like different. Like, we see so many of the same faces, locations. Yes. I love movies that just give me something different. I don't know. Those are all my favorite. But yeah, no, well, thank you for joining me, man.
Thanks so much, Mark. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, I love it. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Sean Avishire, who's still not looking at the computer, very impressive. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.